I'm Michelle Neeley, and I've been on the team for 2 years. I've been a real estate agent for 2 years, and I am so happy that I joined this particular team. So,
Awesome. So tell me, what do the systems and accountability look like being on the team?
so the accountability and systems have saved my life in particular because I have this brain that is kind of an ADD brain. I've self-diagnosed myself. But
Many agents.
Yes.
Many agents.
Yes. So I need to be kind of told what to do, and I need it in front of me. And the accountability, we have a point system. And this point system tells you what's important and what's actually going to move the needle. And so on my with my team leader, we have one-on-one meetings every 2 weeks, and we go through that and see what I'm focusing on and what's actually working. And so that really helps me a lot.
Yeah, I think there's so many things to do in real estate. Like if we don't narrow our focus,
Yes.
we'll always feel like we're behind.
Yes.
And that's like the fastest way to get into burnout. And so being able to have those one-on-ones, I'm sure helps keep things aligned with what your goals are and the activities that you should be doing.
Yes. Whenever I first started in real estate, I thought like being busy as going on showings and doing things like that was being in business. But I realized that there's other things that you need to be doing, like lead generating has to be a priority. And this team is very focused on lead generating and blocking out a time to do that. And so, yes, by doing showings and closings and all those things, that's great, but that is not what is actually going to keep your business moving forward. And so I really love the training that this team has provided me because that's really grilled that into my brain.
So tell us a little bit about the success you've had. How many deals did you do in your first year in real estate?
My first year in real estate, I did around 15, and that was mind-blowing to me. I didn't think that was possible. And so that had me on a good path of moving forward, I think. So.
And then your second year, we're about to end the year. How many units will you end up with and volume?
I think so far around 37, which is crazy. Yeah.
And what's the volume?
13 million.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What do you contribute that success to?
Following the systems. I am living proof that by following these things to a T as much as possible, that you will grow your business. And so that's what I contribute it to. And I contribute it also to my incredible admin. And also, people have this misconception about teams that you're giving up half of your money. And I have more than doubled so I have like COI growth and team growth, or team leads. And I have more than double business because of the team. And so that I wouldn't be able to be here today without the team.
Tell me a little bit about your work-life balance. Doing 37 units is a lot. There's not a lot of real estate agents, quite frankly, even solo or on teams that are doing that. How does that work with your work-life balance? Are you going crazy and not seeing your family, or what does that look like?
No, I see my family. I'm able, I think, to really work my family in my schedule. I feel like I have a pretty good work-life balance, actually. I am just a bit of a crazy person in cramming things in at a time. So with that time blocking, it's just, I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I go to bed at 10. And so at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm doing my morning routine stuff. And then at 7, I'm kind of hitting the ground running with doing what I need to do within a certain amount. And then I am usually, home to see my kids whenever they get off the bus. Or, if I take them to practice, I'm working, while they're practicing. And so I have a good way of, I can still do things with my family in between work.
Well, tell us a little bit about the collaboration on the team, and then how does that help you in your business?
Yeah, so the collaboration on the team is so helpful, especially with the work-life balance. So if I do have something family related that is just very important. I have team members that can either, pop in to do a showing for me or inspections or something. Like the other day, I had to get my hair done. I'm sorry, but a lady needs to get her hair done. And I had this sweet team member, and she was like, "Girl, I got you." And so that is what I'm talking about whenever it comes to teams. Of course, I don't do that all the time, but that is the luxury of having a team is if we need a backup, we have it.
Yes. How does the team coach you and challenge you to continue to grow and develop?
So the team coaches me we always have kind of like continuing education things that we're doing. So we have the Eisenhower training sessions that we're doing. And so we pick something that we're going through. And I love learning. And so that's great for me because I need to be, filling my brain with what's going to be helpful for my business in the future. And then my team leader, he helps me with keeping on track with what's actually working as well. Because as new agents, we get these crazy ideas of what's going to work and what's not going to work. I had a crazy idea of, going around doing like little door knocking things or whatever. And he kind of brought me back down to this is what is going to be a waste of time. And then this is going to be what is good lead generating with your personality. So that's another thing is what works with your personality. So I'm a very relational person, and so we kind of cater my lead generating around being relational and being involved in the community.
That's awesome. We get a lot of ideas, and there's always somebody saying or showing on social media the next new shiny object, and so it's like what's actually working, especially in your business. Like it might be a great idea, but would you be taking a step back in a different area of your business by taking it on? And I think sometimes we forget that sometimes it has to be an or if we don't want to give up the work-life balance.
Right.
So what did you do before you got into real estate?
What I did before I got into real estate, I was a dental assistant. I was a dental assistant for 15 years, and I was getting burnout on being in an office and no more growth. So I'm a growth person, and I got as high as I could as a lead dental assistant running the whole office. I couldn't grow anymore. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to go and do real estate because I have a brother-in-law who's an architect, designer, and builder. Kind of gave me that idea. Well, he didn't give me that. He kind of discouraged me from doing real estate, actually. But so I decided to get into real estate, and it was the best decision. I am meant for it.
So going from being a dental assistant to now selling $13 million in your second year, what has that done to improve your life, change your life?
Well, big thing, obvious, financial freedom. I never thought that this would be possible for me to make this amount of money. Like I still don't quite believe it because I have never been at this level before. And so I came to the team with a borrowed car. It wasn't even my own car. And driving around, going from, showing to showing in this gas guzzler to finally, within my first year, buying my own car, brand new. And then my second year, cash flowing a whole kitchen remodel and not having to borrow a dime for it. And so now I have this beautiful kitchen and a beautiful car.
Aww.
And it's wonderful for my family.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what a great example you're setting for your kiddos, right? How many do you have?
I have 2. And my son, he did say the other day, he's like, "Mom, you're kind of a bad A, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I am actually. Take notes. No, that's really awesome to be able to show. I know that's something I'm really passionate about is, getting to help other individuals create, a new path or one they didn't even know was possible, and then how that will affect the next generation. Because as someone who was raised by, parents who paycheck to paycheck,
Yes.
like they just, you seem to think that that's all there is. So
Right.
it's a big opportunity that you're also doing for your kids. What kind of agent would thrive in being on this team?
The kind of agent that I think that would thrive on this team, maybe a newer agent, just because, I mean, that is my experience in being a newer agent, not knowing any better and being able to take the suggestions.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It is taking the suggestions,
Yeah.
because one of the things that we see is it's really hard to find agents that are willing to do the work. Like the rainmaker, like Joe, is able to tell you exactly based on your personality what are the activities that you should be doing and at what capacity to get the success that you're looking for. Agents who seem to struggle with being on a team, or they're not going to take the direction.
Right.
Maybe they haven't hit a need, like a point in their life where they need to make a change, or they think they can do it better or whatnot.
Yeah, I think somebody who's not receptive to criticism or not receptive to any kind of team structure might struggle in this sort of situation. But I really feel like this is for everyone. As long as you're open to doing something new and following, the directions, man, I'm living proof of that it works. So yeah, I really feel like this could be for everyone, as long as you want to be successful. We have the structure to be successful. We have the playbook. So just do it, and there you go.
So I think your answer is the person who's willing to do it.
Yes, the person who's willing. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of shiny objects out there, but the reality is it's the unsexy part about
Yes.
real estate and being consistent on the things,
100%. Yeah. Because you see a lot online right now of on the Instagram and, doing this or that. Yes, you have to have that piece of it, of course. But you also have to have like the base structure and the consistency of doing the actual work instead of just doing Instagram videos all day. But some people do find
there
success
are
in that too.
your one in a million that
Right.
are going to be able to generate an entire business from scratch off of Instagram. The reality is for many agents, it's an additional way of staying in front of your
Right.
people that you already know, like your SOI, not necessarily starting an entire business.
Yes.
And I think sometimes there's a bit of confusion.
Right.
We all love the funny videos.
Yes.
It's not going to be what
Right.
creates 13 million in your second year, though.
Right.
So I know you do quite a bit of social media, right? So out of your 37 deals this year, how many of them actually came from social media? Like were generated off of social media?
Generated completely based off social media. One was TikTok, and he was from Florida. We still stay in touch. He saw my TikTok video and thought that it was funny, and so he gave me a call. I was so surprised. I was completely caught off guard that actually worked. But staying in front of people with my social media, that does help, because I think that some referrals have come from that, from people seeing me do real estate all the time and, constantly be talking about it. So that helps with my COI as well. But yeah, based off of, across the United States, people calling randomly, just one. Yeah.
And so it's important that people realize, like, you do the social media, and
Yes.
it is to stay in front of your people without
Right.
having to call and say,
Yes.
by the way, I'm still in real estate. By the way, are you looking to buy or sell? Like, instead of doing that, it's really an
100%.
approach more of staying in front.
Right.
And a fun, light-hearted, approach.
Right. I do the funny videos, and then now I've also been doing educational/funny. So it just kind of brings it both into it, just to keep people watching, because I know it's hard to keep people watching with our low attention spans these days.
Yes. And it's really fun how you've gotten the whole team doing them too. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
to say, I thoroughly enjoy it.
Oh, good.
In what ways does the team encourage you to build your skill set and even your leadership within the team?
So I decided to start working on a niche, and I kind of went through all the different ones, and I saw a big benefit of helping seniors. And so I got my seniors real estate specialist. And so the team has really supported me with that, with helping me in events and with marketing. And so whenever we start out, they try to tell you, well, our team says, don't focus on the niche, focus on the foundation. But once you get into it further, you can get into a niche because it's very important to focus in on something and, be the expert in that area. And so, like I said, I like learning. And so that's one thing that I've really kind of dove into. I know it's going to be a long-term process, but they're wholeheartedly helping me with that. So that's awesome.
I really love that. So we say a lot of time when we're coaching people, it's, to be a generalist, you're speaking to no one. When
Right.
you're a specialist, you're speaking directly to that person, and then therefore you will pick up the generalist clients, right? So it also gives you something like I saw you light up when you said, the elderly. Now that means you're going to be more excited to do it. It's going to
Yes.
bring you energy. So if we can focus on the things that give us energy, and even by talking about those things, pick up additional clients, not just that, it's a win-win. So I love that the team is supporting you in that, and that you found that thing, because it's just going to continue to help your business
Yeah.
grow.